beautiful, amazing day to all people of the way. Welcome to yet another edition of Truth Talk Tuesdays.
Yes, and today we will be speaking about taking aligned action in order to lead a more fulfilling life.
Is that right, baby girl?
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed. All right.
I think today especially, this topic has come up in everything that we have done today.
Yeah, it has. It has. Boss lady calling the shots. So that's what we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Taking aligned action. And there's quite a difference between simply taking action and taking aligned action, isn't there, Samantha?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You know, because we can take action all day and all night. You know, you have very successful, quote unquote, societally successful individuals who perhaps make a lot of money, who perhaps have this and that possession or live in this or that house, right? But that's not really what equates to true success and fulfillment, is it? Because you have a lot of individuals who perhaps are still lacking that fulfillment from the way that they live. You know, you can be taking action all day. You could be insanely busy, insanely productive. But if you don't feel fulfilled within your soul through the work that you do and the way that you live your life, then you're not truly successful, are you?
And you're not living aligned. You know, you're not living aligned. Yeah.
Aligned with what? That's the question. That's the question. Aligned with our truth, aligned with what it is we truly care about, aligned with what it is that we are truly interested in, aligned with the way that we present our gifts to the world. That is what we want to be aligned with when we are taking action. And our action taking becomes more mindful as a result. It becomes more conscious. And so when we take aligned action, we are taking action in a way that is making manifest the life that we truly want to live and the reality that we want to experience. So that's the key difference between simply taking action for the sake of taking action, because that's what we're meant to do, because
that's what we're taught to do.
That's what we're taught to do, exactly. As opposed to taking aligned action. Actions aligned with our core, our soul, what it is that we really want. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah. It's discovering that purpose within you, isn't it? Which I think is the perfect place to begin. The search for how to take aligned action, right? How do we take aligned action when you don't know what you're aligned with?
Yeah. That's the start. That's the only way to begin, really, because only when you understand who you are, only once you've looked within yourself and understand, have a clear understanding, so to speak, of who you are and what it is that you want out of life, can you see the end game for how you want your life to play out, how you want to work and bring value into the world, your way. Figuring out what that is for yourself is the very first thing. And we can do this through very meditative activities, things that allow for all of the external noise, all of the external influences to kind of quiet down in order for us to remember what it is that we really care about, what it is that we are working so hard for, because that can kind of get clouded in the day-to-day, working and grinding and trying to make money and trying to make this happen. Sometimes we need to really just take a step back and have a conversation with ourselves about what it is that we really want out of life. And we can only do that once all the noise is silenced.
Yeah. And
that's the only way.
Finding what your soul, what your spirit and your heart is pulled towards. Because many times people starting out, even if they feel that they know the kinds of things that they like, they don't truly know what they are completely aligned with, because there is also a difference between having hobbies and then having something that your soul, your spirit is truly pulling you towards. Because there may be many things that you enjoy, but it's few of those things that will actually bring you true fulfillment. Some of these things that we think we like are merely just a hobby, but unless you're willing to explore, you're not going to find it, right?
Yeah.
And so,
There's a huge difference between your hobbies and your passion.
yes.
I love video games. I'm a huge gamer. I love gaming. I like having you watch me play, through the PlayStation, right? But
yeah,
is that really something that is, bringing out the best in me to bring value to the world,
No.
on a grand scale? No, that's the difference between a hobby of yours and your passion or your soul's calling, right?
That's right.
Clearly, my love for video games is not the same as my love for public speaking. My love for being able to establish connection and conversation, establishing communication with others in a way that brings the best out in themselves, that inspires others. That's my passion, and my skill and my talent is to be able to do that effectively in order to inspire change, in order to inspire transformation within that other person. That's my passion. That's what I love to do.
That's right. And not to disregard video games, right? Because
Absolutely.
somebody's passion could be video games, but it wouldn't just be in regards to playing it. For them, it would be in creating video
coding
games,
programming it, building an entire ecosystem and business surrounding it. That is not only benefiting them, right? It's benefiting the world around them through their creation of that art.
Absolutely. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So we really need to.
Now, how do we listen? How do we truly listen to what our spirit and intuition are guiding us towards? Because ultimately, these are the things that we need to listen to, right? It's quieting the mind and meditating in, within yourself, and it's your spirit, it's your heart, and it's your intuition that will inevitably guide you to what is true for you, because we have all the answers within, right? We have all the answers already inside of us, but it's being able to tap into that wisdom that is already within and being able to bring it out, really being able to bring it out, and in being able to take action on that.
Yeah. And there's no one right or proper or correct way to get into a meditative state. There's no one right practice or one right way of doing it. It's really, again, getting in tune with who we are and our unique way of getting into that meditative state, for the noise to silence. Are we in tune with nature? Do we like to go for walks? Do we like to draw or sketch or paint? Do we like to write? We can even find that clarity through making love with a conscious partner, right? We can do that as well, and a bunch of clarity arises as a result, again, because all of that noise silences, and you are in the presence necessary. You are in a silent space where all of that clarity and creative energy can be brought forth. You inspire that within each other, and you're able to come up with a bunch of things together. That creative energy is poured into your life in many ways. So there's that as well. But the point is to do something that gets you into that meditative state that silences the external noise, in order for you to listen to what your soul is wanting to communicate to you. That inner voice that's trying to lead you towards what it is you actually want to do.
What you are here to do, really, right? what our purpose is, what our mission is in this life. Yeah. And I think it's also good to remember to silence those limiting beliefs that might pop up when you're thinking about these things, when you're feeling into yourself, that little voice of doubt that creeps in, that tells you, oh, you're not ready for that yet, or you need to learn something else first, you need to do more in order to be ready. It's about letting go of all of that, because when something is aligned with you and that it is an absolute yes, that if you were to take action towards this, that you would find happiness, fulfillment, pleasure from doing it, right? Because what is truly aligned with you, there is no doubt. There might be doubt in regards to beginning it, but there is no doubt that this is aligned with you. You feel it. You are excited to be able to pursue it. You are excited to be able to work with what it is that is your calling. And so, yeah, we really need to just let go of everything that is stopping you from pursuing that, and then really take that aligned action towards it, just like we did in creating our group, right, my love?
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, with regards to anything in life, you're never going to be ready, quote unquote. It's a very fine balance of learning what it is that you need to in order to make the most of that experience. But aside from that, taking action when you know what it is that you want to go for, when you know the path forward, the most important thing is to just take action now, because you are aligned. Now that you are aligned, take the action and you will learn from there. You will go from there. You will grow. If you take a certain step that perhaps was unintentional, or you didn't,
or you realize that it's not really
right
what you thought,
what you wanted, what you wanted out of it, or you make a mistake, right? There's no such thing as making mistakes. We're just learning. You can't be afraid to learn. You can't be afraid to grow. And if we got caught up in doing this thing or that thing right when making this group, we wouldn't have made the group. We'd still be sitting around thinking about what the best kind of content structure is, or how do we do this and that, and what's the best platform for recording. We'd still be talking about making the group, right? And it's going to be the most perfect group ever. It's going to be the best freaking group, but there's no group. It's all talk. It's all theory. We can't get caught up in our head in anything it is that we do. And it takes a leap of faith, so to speak. The scariest part when embarking on a journey or an experience that you've never had before is just starting it. Whether you're starting a project of some sort, a business, whether you're establishing a connection with someone and they're bringing things out of you that you've never experienced before, all of that takes a leap of trust, I would say, over faith, which was really what faith is. It's just a deep trust in the way things unfold, a deep trust in ourselves. That's the essence of faith. It's trusting in ourselves to continue taking action when we know at our core that action is now aligned with who we are. Is in alignment with our truth, in alignment with our spirit. And we just need to trust ourselves to have everything that we need, because we do. We have everything we need to learn and grow as a result of the experience. And keeping things simple too is another thing that I feel is necessary to mention. Keeping things very simple. If our mind loves to complicate shit to the nth degree, we when we come from a place of mind, when we take things on mentally, we tend to overcomplicate things. We need to let the mind just relax, take it easy, and approach things from our soul. We have that calmness, that groundedness, and we're able to just trust the process, as they say. It's very important to trust the process and just take each step forward. and trust ourselves ultimately. And as we're taking action, we will see the fruitage of our labor. It's an amazing thing to see over 1,100 people in our group now after 2+ months, just about. But that wouldn't have come about if we didn't take action every single day to providing and creating original content. You know, we don't just share articles, you know, and content from other people. We put time, effort, and energy into the group, and it shows. People resonate. You know, the way that you guys connect with us and see the value and the inspiration in our messages is that's priceless. You know, there's no price tag on that, you know.
And in regards to taking aligned action, you know, I feel that it's something that we do on a daily basis, because everything that we create always comes from a space of presence, right? The things that we are experiencing right now, because we know that they are the messages that come through to us that need to be shared with the world. You know, it's those things that we experience on the daily basis that bring up, you know, that inspires us to speak about things like this. And all of the topics that we come up with really is always inspired by either the day or the week, just the things that we have experienced right now, you know. Then that's completely taking aligned action on what our spirit is speaking to us and telling us to do, you know. And that was the same way in creating the group. We had this calling from within. We had been speaking about it for quite some time, actually, if I remember correctly. I think it was probably close to 6 months. We were talking, you know, and we were talking about creating something and building something together, and we just had no idea really which way to go about it initially,
or how it would look like, or what platform we would use. Again, you know, the finer details. And
yes, exactly.
When you get caught up in the finer details, when you theorize over and over and over, trying to think how to take the most precise action, right? When you do that too much, when you get caught up in your mind, you're actually just afraid of failing, essentially. It's a fear of failure, and you got to recontextualize that. You really need to recontextualize that and treat your fear of failure and convert it into nervous excitement for what it is you're going to create. You have to reframe that. It's you don't want to fail, right? Because it's important to you. You have to treat it in that context. And when you view your fear of failure as nervous excitement, because we're all excited about things that we care about, we want to bring our best to it. But fear of failure will hold you back, whereas nervous excitement will propel you forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very powerful reframing of context. And I think that's what really propelled us to finally taking action. You know, this is going to be such an amazing thing that we're going to create. We just need to do it. We need to start. Exactly. We'll learn what to do. The finer details, they'll reveal themselves. But we need to begin. We need to start doing something.
And that's what you will find when you do start taking that aligned action, that things just fall into place, because it is, as it's stated, aligned action. If it is aligned, it is always going to turn out. And if it doesn't, it just means that you're having to learn more in order to find what is aligned, right? But when it is truly aligned with your spirit, it will just make sense. One thing will roll into the next. Ideas will be coming up like that, and you'll be so thankful that you actually started, instead of just sitting and contemplating and waiting and procrastinating over doing it. You're actually doing it, you know, and you're learning in the process. You know, I remember that was one thing for me for a long time, like, oh, I don't know how to start, and I don't know how to do videos, and, you know, I'm not confident in this. But you know what? Just get started. And you will learn along the way. You always do.
And that confidence will grow. It's a muscle, right? When you start doing things that way, your your ability to take action, that muscle that is your ability to take aligned action will grow stronger. Your attunement with your soul will become clearer and clearer, stronger and stronger. That taking action will just become much, much simpler to do. You'll have more trust in yourself, more confidence in yourself, and taking action will just become much easier as a result.
It does.
Yeah. And why take aligned action? Well, we all want to live the most fulfilling and enjoyable life possible, don't we?
Yeah.
And we can only do that by taking consistent action on what we are aligned with. Only when we take a leap of faith and trust ourselves to have all of the capability of being able to grow, learn, and become more of who we are meant to be, will we enjoy such a life.
Yeah,
so that's why it's so important. Yeah, baby girl, what were you gonna say?
How, it's great to live with faith in knowing that things are going to work for you eventually, but unless you're actually taking that action, you will be taking snail steps towards what you want, what you desire, what you wish to create within the world. It's not just going to show up out of nowhere. Once you start taking that aligned action on, that's when you will start manifesting things into your reality, that will show you that you were taking the right steps and you are creating that future that you see, the future that you envision and that that you were destined to live. It will start manifesting before you. And again, you need to be patient also. I want to remind people of that, because many times you may take action and you may not see the results that you seek instantly, but be persistent and wait, because I love the example of a seed being planted, right? It takes so long for the seed to grow through the soil before it's actually ready to come out, and so you don't see any of that happening, but it is happening, and you might give up just before it's about to pop out. And how, my goodness, like I wouldn't want to experience that. I would rather be persistent and wait to see that sprout, and then see it continue to grow and flourish into the plant, the tree, whatever it is that you are creating, but so you have to be patient though, because if you're not patient, you will miss out. You might be this close and you will just miss it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
That's right.
That's it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, taking aligned action means the world of a difference in terms of our ability to lead the most fulfilling and inspirational lives possible. And we just have to be able to have that courage to take a leap of faith and see what could be for us. See the beauty beyond our fears, insecurities, and doubts, and take action towards what we really want in order to live that kind of life.
Absolutely. And so may you remember that you are the author of your story, the artist of your painting, and may you be inspired to create a masterpiece of a life tailored by your desires.
Absolutely. And with that, we leave you all in truth, beauty, and love. Until next time.